People of the world, so much Wednesday, so much pandemic, so much world in chaos. What will we do? Focus on the positive, I think. Ventura County law enforcement monitors surge in social media threats. Hey, that's not positive. Future of multi-local marketing is a blast from the past. What the heck does that mean? Ads appearing on Google's network alongside COVID-19 misinformation. Surely not. Google would never do such a thing. Google Ads shortens business identity verification time. Is it because they want more money? And 8 ways you're doing Google Ads wrong and how to make it right. Let's get started with Ventura County, California. The Ventura County Sheriff's Office is seeing a dramatic increase in phone calls from residents concerned about threats of violence posted on social media. The threats include rioting and looting in local neighborhoods. Yes. Oh yes. I was on Twitch. You may have heard this story. And someone comes on and threatens to bomb my house. Do they know where I live? I don't know the answers to these questions. Am I wildly popular on the internet? Yes, of course. Is it difficult for me to go shopping without at least a dozen people asking for my autograph? Obviously. Are the paparazzi constantly hounding me to get that latest pic? Shout out, by the way, to my hair and makeup crew. You guys are doing excellent work. Yes, things are getting nasty out there. Sheriff's officials released a written statement acknowledging the fear and anxiety these types of social media posts have on the community. I remember the sinking feeling I felt when someone threatened to bomb my house. I thought to myself, what planet are you on? I have kids, man. What are you thinking? Officials said they are closely monitoring the threatening posts to determine their credibility and whether a law enforcement response is needed. It is so difficult to try to track down these people. Take the example that I recently experienced. I'm streaming on Twitch. A user comes in, not their name obviously, and they threaten me and then they disappear into the night. When I go to Twitch's report this craziness button, there are subcategories upon subcategories of racism, threats of violence, hate speech, etc. So it's not as if these people are not completely aware that a number of folks go onto these platforms, try to get people to say stupid stuff so that they can record it, blackmail them. I mean, it's mostly revolving around money. Usually there's a component where someone can make some money off of someone else's blunder. Here in Ventura County, I think we're seeing just the rising up of so much pent-up anger that, here we go. How do you determine credibility of a social media threat? The sheriff's office said the preferred way to report these online threats, you guessed it, is online. Just swing on by the Ventura CountyCrimeStoppers.org page and you'll sleep well at night after someone threatens your life online, perhaps repeatedly. You know, this might be a time for us to really dig deep and ask ourselves what precisely we want to put out there online. I wonder what our kids and their kids are going to experience. The information can be reported, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so the future of multi-local marketing is a blast from the past, written by Alex Membrillo. She is my favorite Membrillo. From what I've seen, she writes, not too many people have mastered the intricacies of marketing for an organization with multiple locations. Sure, tried and tested strategies like local paid search and reputation management have and will likely continue to be mainstays for marketing for any type of business. Let's talk about reputation management for a second. On Google My Business, if someone leaves a review and you haven't responded to that review, you might want to consider responding to that review. But Kellen, will they see it? Does it really matter? Here's what matters. What matters is the Google machine at this point. The Google machine becomes people's eyeballs. This is to say, if you respond to all of your reviews, And you don't spam them with keywords. I'm not saying hop on the review and say, oh, thank you for picking your favorite Las Vegas insurance provider. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying respond like a normal human being. And what you're doing is you're adding additional content to the perhaps most important profile in the portfolio of any local business, which is, of course, Google My Business. So yes, local paid search, running call-only ads, running Google ads, tracking conversions on those, and keeping an eye on replying to reviews, asking for reviews whenever possible, etc. These are Marketing 101 items. Particularly, she writes, for multi-local organizations, paid search ads have proven to target hyperlocal audiences with impressive precision. Yes, if you can create a geofence is a fancy word of saying, I'm not going to target Oklahoma. Good example of that would be if you're a personal injury attorney and you want to geo-target the radius around a hospital. That's actually a thing. If you're a realtor, you could geo-target a very specific neighborhood. You could geo-target a half mile around a house you just sold in Facebook and Google Ads. Think about that. Few people have truly mastered the art of multi-local SEO. Ooh, gee. The ability to have organic and map listings rank high on search engine results pages. Well, if, for example, you are a plumber and you have multiple locations, I take that back. You want to get business in multiple locations. It can be a bit tricky. Google, they have to pick from, say, 70 plumbers, call it 700 plumbers. And so if you have a Las Vegas-based location, but you want that Henderson business, a lot of service providers, a lot of businesses are tempted to open up an office somewhere else, even if it's a sham office. You can't do a P.O. box. It doesn't work. And Google is desperately trying to fight against this, but there's an incentive for business owners to do this. There is a correlation between having an office that's close to a location and whether or not you appear in Google Maps. And so, for example, if your office for your plumbing business is in North Las Vegas, and you want to show up when people search way south, you got to have killer SEO. You got to have a ton of blogs, a ton of live streams, a ton of content, a ton of videos, a ton of photos, a lot of people coming to your website, great social media, great backlinks, blah, blah, blah. So a lot of local businesses say, okay, I'm just going to open up this office in Henderson. There's not going to be anyone there. And then one day Google shows up with a literal physical human being and says, no, you're actually not there. Or they use Street View and they say, yeah, we don't trust your businesses there. And then you get into this interminable loop of death. It is not fun to go back and forth with Google My Business. Even if you have insurance docs and signage and you're taking pictures and you're sending it to them, they will just keep shutting down your location. It's happened countless times. I cannot tell you how many times I've written in the Google My Business field when I submit to them saying, hey guys, this is, and I'm not kidding, the 27th time that I've emailed you about this. The listing goes up, it comes down, it goes up, it comes down. So this is a true pain point of multi-local marketing, but according to this particular Forbes writer, could the answer be public relations? It seems like every single year, Google implements some type of algorithm change. Yeah, that completely redefines what SEO is, okay? But when you look beyond these individual updates, I believe what you'll see, if you see the forest through the trees, is an overall shift toward a need to attract high-quality brand mentions across digital spaces. Okay, so if you're Coke, sure. Dove, got it. Joe Schmo's Realty Shack. Hi, this is Joe Schmo, and I've been selling mansions for the last 10 years. Just, when you're out online, just mention Joe Schmo's Realty Shack. If you want each of your individual locations to rank high in both organic search and on map listings, you need other websites to talk about your company. Maybe that might be true. The problem, of course, is that, for example, if the name of your company is a term like Las Vegas Realtor, well, then are you going to get all those brand mentions? Yeah, I don't think so. I think what's more relevant is whether or not people go to your website and stay there, whether or not they come back, if they refer other people, the number of ways that people find you. For example, someone clicks Las Vegas Realtor and you're on the bottom of page 2, but people, when they click on your website, stay for 6 minutes because you've got this incredible gallery of 3D walkthroughs and a ton of videos that explain a ton of different things. Or say you've been doing a YouTube video a week for the last 2 years, and now people are finally starting to subscribe and it's finally starting to work. Well, then if they come to you from YouTube, stay on the website, or the Google understands that it's your YouTube channel because you link back to it from that channel, then yeah, I think that perhaps is a bit more realistic than trying to get the local barber to mention Send It Rising in their next post. What am I supposed to do that? Just keep streaming? Any local barbers, by the way, if you're watching this, just go ahead and mention Send It Rising in the next blog post that you personally, there's no way you're writing it. So tell the person that you're paying to write the blog post to definitely mention my company in your next post. This doesn't make sense. How do you create this type of buzz? Ooh, that's my favorite marketing word ever. So much buzz. How about sales? Anyone? I'll take sales over buzz. Look no further than PR. Oh, I shan't. These 3 components should be part of any modern day marketing strategy. Oh, I love a bulleted list. Let's go, bulleted list. Connecting with your audience on a personal level. Oh, well, that solves all our problems, doesn't it? All this time, all I had to do was connect with my audience. So, if you're trying to give life insurance quotes, all you got to say is, how's your life been, guys? Just do a quick post on the social medias. Just how's life been? And then a flood of people are just going to come swarming in to answer that question. Establishing a level of trust. You guys know you can trust me. I've been doing this for a long time. How about create a ton of video content that's actually relevant? Is that establishing a level of trust? Becoming an authority. I like how these are all different ways of saying the same thing. Establishing a level of trust and becoming an authority. I'm actually pretty similar. Okay, not my favorite bulleted list, Forbes. The purpose of PR is to achieve all 3 of these things. In the past, PR and SEO seemed to walk along 2 different trails. The goal of PR was to build relationships with the public, while SEO was about relationships with websites and search crawlers. Okay, fine. There is an argument that PR and SEO are basically the same thing in 2020. That is to say, if I am a guest on a podcast, Google understands the words I'm saying. That's additional content. That's SEO. If I'm featured in a news story and 4,200 people come to the website, you know what? 4,200 is actually the number of viewers we currently have right now. We're killing it, guys. Killing it. If 4,200 people come to the website and they stay and they come from organic search because they search the name on Google, or they come direct because they type it into whatever, then I suppose there's an SEO argument to be made there as well. She says, I believe SEO and PR have become one and the same. Okay, I can buy that. How then can you use PR to help increase the searchability of your many business locations? Ooh, here comes. Build relationships with media managers. Where are my small business owners at? It's Wednesday at 10:44. All I need you to do is just real quick, if you're not too busy trying to track down that invoice or deal with some of the administrative tasks or get through the 146 emails you have sitting on your desk or answering one of your employees' questions, or perhaps looking to let go of someone who isn't performing quite as they should, or hiring that new employee, or trying to figure out what a video strategy would be, or filming a video for YouTube, or creating a social media post, or just taking a break and sipping on some coffee. If you're not doing any of those things, do me a favor and just build a relationship with a media member, in your free time. It's no secret that search engines like Google and Bing love links from authoritative websites. Oh, they're just loving those links. That's why it's important for your individual locations to build relationships with local journalists, reporters, and editors. Do you know how swamped these people are? Do you have any idea what it would be like to be a journalist for like the business beat in 2020? I am just the owner of a small internet marketing company, and I get an email a day, minimum one, that says, oh, we would just like to guest post. Can we just do a guest post? So welcome to the guest post ecosystem in 2020, where supposedly you get to write an article and then I have to post it on my website to give you a link back to your website, and the content you're providing me is probably garbage and it's probably copyrighted, and you're probably sending this to like 700 other people. So yeah, great. We'll just build a relationship with local journalists. Hey, look, local journalist. I'm a human. I wrote a book, like a lot of other people, and you should give me coverage on your media outlet because we got this great relationship. Just a few links from big name sites in your specific region may hold enough weight to boost your rankings. Well, yeah, of course. Do you know what it costs to get on a local TV show like Morning Blend? You got to spend real money. I mean, journalists are dying for money. They have so much competition now. Everybody is their competition. They need cash, man. So, yeah, it's not like I'm just going to call up the local, beat reporter and get him to write up a story about my, company, because that's what he wants to do on his break. Of course, building a relationship is just half the battle. No, it's, your locations have to do something. Here we go. For these media folks to want to mention them online. Okay, that something could be opening a new store, but why not think outside the box? So if you open a new store and you create a press release and you reach out to a bunch of these media outlets, seriously, maybe, I don't know. How long is that article going to be? Local business opens new location amid the coronavirus pandemic. Local business owner opens new location. Yeah, I don't think so. News outlets love when local businesses volunteer their time. Here it is. Here it goes. It always goes here. For an event or cause marketing. Consider organizing an annual fundraiser because, again, if you're not too busy running your business, perhaps being a parent, enjoying something about your life that isn't work, just on top of your plate, throw in an annual fundraiser for the communities where you have a presence. This can help you gain extremely influential links and free press as a result. If you're a saint and you have a halo and you have infinite time and energy and you're big into that annual fundraiser game, which, I don't know, is an incredibly specific skill set, then you go ahead and do an annual fundraiser and kill it. Alternatively, you could just pick a charity that you dig, okay, and not do it to just gain backlinks. You could do it because you actually believe in the charity, and then you could put it on your website, and then maybe you could volunteer on their board, and then you could do posts about it and videos about it on your own social media. And if you by chance stumble into something magical because you actually care, then yes, you might get some press at some point. Fantastic. You can't just hire a PR company and expect them to come up with the story. You still have to be the story, which is to say, you have to live an impressive life. So what's the key to living an impressive life? On chat right now, we have Esther E. Sass, and she'll send us all an email later on how she lives her impressive life. Hashtag Sass Agency, hashtag Esther E. Sass. Focus on 4 types of content. Oh, good. Content marketing isn't just a buzzword. It's a viable way to reach your audiences and inspire them to want to get to know your brand better. However, there's more to content marketing than producing blog post after blog post. Don't get me wrong, blog posts remain. All right, we're done. We're done with you. We're done with you, article. Thank you, Alex. We appreciate it. We're moving on. Ads appearing on Google's network alongside COVID-19 misinformation. Global Disinformation Index recently reviewed 49 sites running baseless claims about the virus and found Google placed ads on 84% of them. Hold the phone. Are you trying to tell me? Are you trying to tell me, Susan Winograd, that Google is prioritizing money over the truth? I don't believe it. Search and social platforms have had a lot to contend with when it comes to COVID-19, from struggling monetization to constantly evolving ad policies and blatantly false information slipping through the cracks in approval. Adapting quickly has been the name of the game. There is another side of Google's advertising web that had been somewhat flying under the radar until now, where display ads show on its network of sites. This right here, this little blue Cox ad or whatever, this is a display ad. So banners. What is Google's ad network? Oh, we don't need that. Just explained it. Sites versus page content. A research group called the Global Disinformation Index found that 49 sites were running disinformation. 84% of them had Google ads on them. Got it. Example. VM ad appearing on an article citing claims that Bill Gates charities relating to pandemics are part of a plot for world domination. Surely not. Microsoft Teams ad appearing on an article that Gates attempted bribery on Nigerian lawmakers for a COVID-19 vaccine. Got it. All right, so Google's running ads. They don't care. Why should they care? Why should Google? Okay, so you're telling me that if I create a website, Google has to crawl the entire internet, number one. Understand every single word on the entire internet, number two. And then be the police of whether or not they make money on a page that says certain things? Yikes. So we've been talking about Trump fighting Twitter, and we're gonna see global AI censorship. And, it'll probably start with this sort of stuff. Like Google will stop pulling display ads from obviously false stuff. But when the AI machine, when RankBrain, when Google and Facebook's AI algorithms are making judgment calls about what's a fact and what isn't a fact, it's going to get real interesting. Because I think we're going to get to a point in our evolution where we simply all just defer to the fact machine. We have our thoughts and opinions about something, and then we'll punch it into the machine, and the machine will say, no, you're wrong, or you're 20% right, and we'll go, okay. It's the same way, like when I play chess, and the chess machine, which is better than any human ever, says, no, actually, it was rook to c2. I'd be like, I don't see why. I don't comprehend the reason why rook to c2 is the preferred move here. It makes no sense, but it makes sense 12 moves from now. And so that's what we're going to see. Now, Google's just going to make infinite money until that's a reality. Why wouldn't they? Google Ads shortens business identity verification time. Same difference here, same thing, which is to say, Google has no incentive at all to make less money. Google Ads has updated the timeline to a 21-day response time for their business operations verification program. Ooh, rolling out, what is this? Business operations verification program? Tell me more. Announced late last month, Google will be requiring verification of identity for all brands who advertise on their platform. What? Google Ads has updated their policy on their identity verification program, shortening the time frame businesses have to submit documentation. The overall timeline still technically remains a 30-day process, but they have amended what happens in that time frame. Previously, it was a straight 30-day timeline. Okay, businesses would be notified of their need to submit verification And if it wasn't submitted within that 30 days, ads would stop running. The new refinement window, okay. All right, thank you. What is the verification program? Formerly called the, quote, Business Operations Verification Program. It's an extension of the advertiser verification that began with political advertising. Its intention is to continue to create transparency between consumers and the ads they see. Users will be able to interact with ads and see who the advertiser is, where they're located, oh geez, and have the option to block ads from them. Google anticipates it will take a couple of years to fully roll out this undertaking. Wow. Business verification disclosures will appear to users in search ads via the drop-down. Yeah, this feels like a team of lawyers sitting in a room for a couple of years going, you know what? If we don't give the masses the ability to block certain advertisers, they're going to lose their mind. And so let's do that. Users can choose about the advertiser to display the advertiser's name and location. Wow, that is crazy. What are the required documents? Personal identification methods, business and corporation documents, possibly other items to verify. Wow, so here we go. Do agencies need to submit verification? No, the requirement is for the brand actually spending ad dollars. Holy moly. Agencies are not required to register if they are simply managing the ads on behalf of the brand. Agencies do have the option to facilitate the process for their clients, but ultimately it's still the brand's information. So the Business Operations Verification Program, put that into your back pocket. Business Operations Verification Program. So there's an incentive, obviously, for Google to show those ads over typical ads. So keeping an eye on the Business Operations Verification Program. More on that as that rolls out. 8 ways you're doing Google ads wrong and how to make it right. Not seeing the ROI you're expecting from pay-per-clicks? Surely not. Here are 8 ways you might be wasting your budget. Okay, let's check these out. 1, assuming the previous manager had things optimized. Yeah. If you hop into a property and you're a property manager and you're going to rent out a property, you wouldn't assume that the whole house is perfect before you buy it. If you're taking over an account, or did at some point, and didn't blow it up and start from scratch, you might have some hidden baggage, of course. This is obvious. Not customizing settings for your needs. Google Ads accounts start out with a lot of defaults and one-size-fits-all formatting. This is true. There's danger in ignoring these settings. A quick example would be targeting country, region, or radius. This is one of those things where if you are running pay-per-click, you really do want to talk with the person running these and ask these specific questions. Where are we targeting? What exactly is the radius? They may simply say, it's Las Vegas, chill out. Or they may say, it's these 7 zip codes, 89044, 89 whatever, and they're missing 7 of them. Or maybe you moved locations a while ago and the pay-per-click team never got the memo. So if you're running them yourself, obviously you can check them yourself. This is the setting that applies to how you're targeting people, in or interested in the region. If you're only seeking to advertise to people physically in an area, then you need to make sure that you've got it configured correctly. Not conducting regular audits, obviously. No need to dive into that. Okay, skipping competitor research and monitoring. Audience research to uncover the right targeting for keywords, placements, remarketing. Remarketing is when an ad follows you around the internet. You're like, hey, I just clicked on their website once. Now I'm seeing them a million times. And matched lists are a big part of setting up an account and strategically optimizing it over time. Okay. Putting a focus on competitors. Oh, bulleted list. What they're spending, what their ads say, what keywords they're targeting, and how to make adjustments. The only problem with looking at competitor spending is, let's say your competitors are spending, $6,000 a month. You don't know what their ROI is. How much money are they making? You can assume that they're spending it because they're killing it, but you don't know. Overusing broad match and lacking match type strategies. Find a match type strategy that works for you. Okay. Whether it impacts how many keywords you have in an ad group or use of broad match. So broad match is like if you type in Las Vegas realtor, it'll also give you realtors and similar words. use of dynamic ads or other factors. Be intentional on how you set up match types. We get it. If you do exact match, for example, and you type in Las Vegas Realtor, they have to literally type in Las Vegas Realtor. Nothing else will count. A disproportionate focus on quality score. Okay, quality score matters, but it isn't the only thing to focus on. If you're obsessed with it, consider how it might be blinding you from other factors. If you're feeling guilty of not looking at it enough, now that I mentioned it, well, maybe it's time to take a look. Okay. So quality score is a score that Google gives to ads based on a number of factors, the ad itself, but also the landing page that it goes to. So let's say you're running ads and the landing page breaks for whatever reason, or it's a landing page from 2014 and hasn't been updated in forever. You may have a quality score that continues to dip. This, of course, means you're not making as much money as you could be making. Being too hands-off, this is everybody's problem. Diving in and actually understanding this stuff just requires, if you're a business owner, probably, I don't know, once every 3 months, once every 6 months, just saying, okay, walk me through this report, try to get a cursory understanding of it, try to understand how much you're paying, and then just meeting with your team, if you have a team, might be enough just to remind them that you exist and help get some additional love on that particular program. If you're doing it yourself, obviously, well, then you're not hands-off, are you? Okay, so things are crazy. There's no doubt about it. Lot of social media threats being thrown around the world right now. It's unfortunate, but I don't see it going anywhere. If you are suffering, if your business is suffering, and you're finding yourself in a very chaotic and difficult place in your life, you are not alone. We are obviously going through something globally, and this is, it's anyone's guess how things are going to pan out. But as my mom always used to say, this too shall pass. Forbes wrote an article about multi-local level marketing that is currently just the white void. I've fallen into the white void. But by memory, I can tell you that PR is, what's the word? Kind of, sort of something you can consider. But are you really going to get news you can use? Not really. It's highly unlikely. I'd consider starting with aligning with a local charity. Put it on your social media platforms. Move from there. Okay, Google is making money by putting ads on websites that spread misinformation. Obviously, they have an incentive to do that. Verification time. So this business identity verification thing for Google, for pay-per-click, it might be a big, 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 big deal because people are not going to want to have advertisers hide anymore. They want to know who is advertising. It's going to probably lower your cost per click. It's probably going to give you better quality score, better ad placement. So business identity verification is a thing. And it's cutting edge stuff. So something to look into. And last but not least, talk to your pay-per-click people. If you're running an account, try to understand it. Try to dig into it. Try to understand how much you're paying per conversion. Oh my gosh, it's Wednesday, it's 11:03. I get to do BNI in 27 minutes? You've got to be kidding me. So happy. Filled with joy, so much marketing as a foreign language. Thank you for joining us for this particular live stream. Proud of you. Go get it, gamers. You got this. I will see you tomorrow.